the offhand or the alive hand or the dead hand. Personally, I always call it the offhand. With the Dirk, the offhand becomes kind of our touch. So it's our shield, it's our second tool to support any close quarter situation, any bind. So of course it is dangerous for the free hand to be used because when I'm standing in our basic guard position, this hand is a little bit exposed, so I have to be aware of this, that I'm not being cut into the hand. But I can also try to get my opponent to cut for the hand and then just pull it back, slip it back, and then go for my own attack. Of course, you can do kind of in an incoming attack, kind of a block and counter step, counter thrust. We will show this later in the paired drills, but much more important, the offhand becomes a support of my Dirk hand when I'm into any kind of bind. For example, when a thrust from below comes, I bring my forearm, my offhand, my forearm in between together with my Dirk to block, because only with the free hand I might not have enough power to resist that. Or it becomes like Taj, that in example when from an angle number one thrust comes in, I bring my free hand in between and counter thrust at the same time. But of course I have to be aware that at any time this might be cut. So a good idea from what you can also see in other knife fighting or dagger combat arts is that you wrap some kind of protection around your free arm, improvised protection, like part of your great plate, or a cloak or a coat or whatever you have in the situation, a jacket, and then you have some kind of protection and an emergency shield. But of course, if you wrap your hand completely to have it protected, you have to keep in mind that you cannot grab your opponent so good anymore. Another thing you have to keep in mind is that you use only the part to protect yourself which is not so vulnerable. That means you never want to protect yourself like this, because on this side the damage is much bigger than on this side. Of course, you don't want to be cut on the outside of your forearm, but here's mostly muscle and flesh. Okay, on this side you will bleed out probably. So you want to use the outside of your shield, of your forearm, to protect yourself most of the time. The other thing you want to try to prevent is that you grab something directly, like this forceful step comes in, this forceful thrusting. You don't want to reach out with your free hand, because this way your thumb, your extended thumb, might be broken from the force of the impact. You cannot hold it like this. Okay, so your thumb will probably be broken, and then the attack will slide down and you will be, get the blade into yourself anyways. So this is something you also want to keep in mind. You can have your thumb a little bit extended, but you want to protect yourself roughly with something in between your pinky fingertip and your elbow point. Okay, so somewhere here with the forearm. So it's not really a block with the offhand. Okay, we have these trappings where you're trapping something away, but you want to bring this between you and the weapon of your opponent, and you have to keep in mind it's a long dagger. Okay, you cannot just stand there, reach out, and think you will block this. No, if you only use your free arm, you have to duck down. You have to bring your Dirk into play to stop the attack completely. And still, you might get stabbed a little bit or cut. So this is, of course, not the perfect defense weapon. But if you want to have these self-defense, historical self-defense and battlefield situations where you can bind and grab and trap, then you have to use your offhand. You cannot have it back like here and just try to work with a knife, with a Dirk. You can see this already in a lot of medieval dagger manuals, how the free hand is used to grab, to bind, to support the dirk. An example, when a thrust comes from below, in this forceful boss thrust, as I call it, then you not only, of course, you can pull your hip back and bring this free hand and then do a counter thrust, but maybe at the first moment you want to stop this forceful attack, and then you can go for it. Okay, so you use your free hand and the dirk to support each other. We will show some drill examples and some examples from sparring. I will not explain the drills in detail because this is something we will do, like, you know, following lessons, so a breakdown. So I will not do a breakdown of every drill I will show now. We will do this later as separate lessons, so you will learn each drill and each situation and why we do this and why we do that. But for a start, that you can get a feeling of how the offhand is used, I will show you some examples.